Hi, and welcome back to It's Miracle Budgeting. My name is Brandy, and I am a cash budgeter. I am married, and we do have 6 kids total, some at home and some out on their own. So we do range from high school, middle school to adult children, independent, married with kids. Big spectrum in the ages. My husband and I have been together for 20 years, 23 together, married for 20 this year, and I do budget mainly with cash. My budget, as you'll see, is partial income here and partial is sent to our joint account for our joint bills to come out of. So our housing, our insurance, our utilities, the car payment, car insurance, things like that, as well as a few credit card bills that we actually used for necessities in the house. Like if it's something I wanted but it wasn't 100% need based, we bought our house in June, then I do not put it in that account unless we're both actively willing to pay for it. Basically, not that he's saying he won't, but I felt uncomfortable billing him for it if it's something that was not necessary and I wanted it for the home. An example to that I would say is that there was we set up a coffee station. That wasn't a necessary thing, but I really wanted to do it because we're big coffee drinkers. I didn't bill him for that portion, so that's just an example. Just for housekeeping, if this is the first time you're here and you end up liking what you see, I hope that you will like. If you like it, share if you think anybody could utilize it, and please subscribe on YouTube. I'm sure pretty much everybody feels like we're broken records at this point, but you would be amazed what the algorithm does when you like something, but when you share it even more so, and comments even more so. So like I used to for many years, I would comment, at the very end of the video, I'd be like, if you made it this far, then, comment X, Y, and Z. And I haven't done that in a while because I would rather have organic commenting where you comment what you like versus commenting something else. And then the other thing I just would like for housekeeping to share 2 other things, and I'll make this really quick. One at the very end of the 3 things, I apologize. At the very end of the video, there is going to be a story time about NordicTrack treadmills. So if you want to stay and listen to that, please stay at the very end of the video and I will have it at that point. 2, I cannot share my salary. I do have a non-disclosure agreement at my work, therefore I just cannot share it. And so I only show you what I'm paying out. I cannot show you what I brought in. And then there was one last thing and now I forgot what it was. Well, I obviously lost it because I had 2 things and I added one. That should have made 3, but what got lost in the wind? So this is my budget for it would be the 9/15 payday. I should receive it on 9/14 because I bank with USAA, a military bank, and they do pay you a day or 2 early. So I do typically get it earlier, but I'm budgeting because I do paycheck budgeting. I'm budgeting from 9/15, the day I get paid, to 9/28. So even though I get it a day early, I never count that day in this just in case that check doesn't arrive on time. It always goes in that next check. So this is where we're at. Again, salary cannot divulge. So, by the way, I know what I was going to say. I did change the setup. I am set up completely different. Now, I do think there'll be less bumping of the camera, but I have a feeling that depending on what box I'm in, it may be out of frame or things like that. So give me a couple times to get this situated, and then I will absolutely get this straightened out. So the first bill we have over here is my Amex, and I'm budgeting $40 for that. The next one is my Meijer card, and I'm also budgeting $40, and my pen is already dying. What's happening? So we're doing $40 at Meijer, and then we're BlockFi is $91, and I actually think my minimum payment is much lower than this because I've been paying a lot off on that one, and my son was dropping payments because he has part of that balance is his balance. I helped him out with a car repair, but I have a feeling that is lower now, but I'm going to leave it, so it's just a little extra that goes into the payment. $75 to Discover, and $28 to Walmart MasterCard. And then I'm actually going to add one more thing. I have to turn the paper while I put it in. Technically, this is my miracle month, so I get 3 paydays, even though I'm by weekly paychecks. And normally, I wouldn't have to contribute on our house bills, but I'm actually going to split my payments. I'm going to do $400 in this check and $461 in my next check because I realized that I don't think the bills are going to work perfectly for that. So it's actually $461 is going in there. So let me just figure out that new total. So that's $735. And my handwriting is atrocious when I write this way because I'm left-handed and I'm basically writing like lefties tend to curve this way, not like this, so it's pretty rough. So down here, my cash envelopes. So the reason there's a split here, and I'm sure it's not perfect to see, and I hate zooming because I'll end up forgetting and not keeping it in frame. But I have my true cash envelopes are on the top. I only have 4 categories: at fuel, dining, spending, and miscellaneous. we actually keep our food for groceries in our joint account, so I don't have to worry about that. And then down here are not true cash envelopes, but they're definitely more variable. So this is subscriptions, pets, beauty, and medical. But I keep them here because they are more variable, but then also they don't fit over here. As you can see, I have it completely full. See, there I go with not doing it right. Ooh, see, look at that, messing it up already. So this one is completely full, and it cannot fit. One more thing is actually, like, normally when I flip my camera a certain way, it stops doing the mirroring, so everything's not flipped and backwards, and mine's not doing it right now. That's really weird. Ooh, I think I just figured it out. Okay. It should be better from here on out, because now I figured it out, because I couldn't figure out why I kept doing opposite of which way I was doing it. Usually if I push through, there's like one more click in it, and if I go too far, it'd go back to the mirroring. But if I do it one little step, I have a Canon 80D. So, okay, this should be good now. So these are my traditional cash envelopes. These are variables. So fuel is going to get 60. Dining, that's for eating out, like if I want to eat out one day or 2 days. I only do $20 per paycheck. And when I first started doing this, $20 bought me 2 lunches out, if not 3 if I did a cheap. Now I'm lucky if I get 1 out of it. That's how much food prices have gone up with fast food and stuff. Spending is 20, and that's anything I want for whatever I want with no limitations. Miscellaneous is 10. So subscriptions down here, we're in that lower part of that box now. Subscriptions is 30. Pets is 20. Beauty is 80, and medical is 20. So this totals $260. And you'll find that these boxes in particular stay very static. They're not anything that changes very often. It's definitely something that I try to keep pretty consistent. And then that helps me with my organization and remembering how much I'm paying. So now we go over to kids. This also has, the kids fund has the school lunch money in it. So that's 100. School is going to get 20. School clothes has all kids clothes. So it could be flip-flops, summer clothes, school clothes, backpacks, school supplies, Kleenex or wipes they may need. Anything for school comes out of that. So I do children review all year round. My fund is going to get 20, and clothing is going to get 20. Car is going to get 40, and that's just like the car expenses for oil changes, car washes, anything I want to do. Home is going to get 20. Same thing with the home. If I need something for my home, if I need towels, if I need paper towel, I can use it for anything I want as long as it's for the home. Birthdays, I always do 80. And actually, I have a big family, so there's 12 of us total with the parents, son-in-law, grandkids, and kids. That equals 12. So when I do 80, I'm actually working on either my January birthday or my February birthday right now, because I'm actually paying ahead. I could lower it and pay a little bit more to debt, but then I would be like just on time with birthdays instead of being ahead of the curve. So at some point I will like slow it down if I get too much in the fund, but right now we always are going to have birthdays. We're always going to have things. So this is like the sweet spot of working ahead, but not breaking the bank. So birthday was 80, gifts was 20. Gifts is for anything outside of the family, work, friends, birthdays outside, anything for the kids. They either are in a Christmas fund or Santa fund, or they're in a birthday fund. Black Friday is getting 100. Annual fees is getting 50. This is for the only credit card I have that has an annual fee, and that is an Amex Delta Sky Miles, and that is, the fee is $295, but you get a free flight and some other perks. Zoo and passports are getting 6 each, and these are kind of like background savings, are not my priority, so I want to put something in there, but I don't need to put a ton. So those are each 6. Thanksgiving is getting 60, and Santa, which is Christmas, we use Santa because we are not Christian, so we do a, for lack of a better word, a materialistic holiday. They're not big, but it still is the point that it's not a religious holiday for us. So that's getting 300. Vacation is getting 20, and holidays is getting 16. And that does total $951. Then debt, I originally was going to pay $500. I'm going to pay $400 and then move that excuse me. I was only supposed to pay $500. I'm going to pay $100, and that $400 I'm going to be doing in the next paycheck. So I still will be putting the exact same amount in there. It's just going to split up a little bit different than I originally planned. So for debt, it's just a total of $100. And then savings, I'm doing $200. I cleaned out our $1,000 emergency fund you'd have to go back a few videos to check it out, but Synchrony credit cards, I had like 5 or 6 of them. They canceled all of them with no notice, and coincidentally they all had 0 interest except for one, and that one had like the tiniest balance. I think it had a $24 balance. That was my American Eagle. But I cleaned it out to pay off my Amazon card, and so now I'm just building it back up, and I do believe this one will put me at over halfway if I'm not mistaken. So in my savings category, it is $200. And I'm just going to zoom back out just a little bit so we can see the whole page. So we had bills this month or this week. This paycheck, I'll get it right one of these tries, $735, cash envelopes and some variables, $260, my sinking funds and one variable, $951, debt is $100, and savings is $200. So that is my budget for the second payday in September, second of 3 paydays I have. And so if you don't want to watch story time, I hope that you will like, share, subscribe, make sure you ring that bell for notifications. And I've been watching a beauty YouTuber. Her name is Martina. Can't think of her last name right now, but she is an Australian YouTuber, I believe, and she says do the YouTubey things, and I think that is so perfect because we lecture every single video, and I hate saying it like that, but we do say, oh, please like, please subscribe. But if we don't say those things, people don't think about it. It's not that we're trying to tell you something you don't know. It's kind of out of, I know even me, sometimes I get to vegetating and then I'll watch a friend's video in particular, or just a video I like, and I'll forget to like it, and I'll actually end up watching it a second time so I can like it, because I hate when that happens. But just do the YouTubey things. I'm gonna steal that from her. She's actually really fantastic. If you like beauty YouTubing, I recommend checking her out. If you search Martina in Australia, I think you can find her easily. If not, PM me on Instagram. I'll go pull it because she's in my subscriptions. So, story time. I've been trying to order a treadmill. For those of you that are not aware, I have lupus and I have other serious health conditions, dealing with some kidney issues right now. And so my health tends to go like this. It's like it literally a roller coaster. So part of it is due to my health conditions. I have weight issues either from steroid use or hypothyroid and just not having the energy with everything going on to exercise. So I wanted to buy a treadmill so that even if I walk 10 minutes, because it's so embarrassing to go to the gym and walk for 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is still good for you. So I want to get a treadmill in the house. So I found that NordicTrack has a credit card at 0 interest for like 39 months, which is fantastic. And so I had planned to do that. So in June, I ordered a treadmill. They canceled it, but held my money until September. I literally had to call manager after manager after manager at the NordicTrack level and at the lender, which is, I forget the name of that bank. I know the name. It's on the tip of my tongue. TH, I think? Trade something? Not sure. But so eventually we were able to get it fixed. It took an additional 2 weeks after I finally got through to managers. That just gives you a perspective. So fast forward, I tried ordering again. It told me my order went through, but I never received an order confirmation. And then they told me that, well, I probably could go back and put it in, but that treadmill was sold out. I'm like, okay, what is happening here? Like, I literally almost didn't order the 3rd time. I was like, you know what? Forget these people. But then I was like, I really need one, and they bring it in your house. So I was like, you know, they're going to bring it in my house. I need to do this because if we go to, you know, Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that, we're going to have to transport it. So I was like, okay, I need to figure this out. So I ordered a 3rd time. This time I ordered slightly different. I went to the same model, but I didn't actually purchase the Fit membership out extended, which is like their TV, like you can do walking things and stuff like that. And they also have other workouts like weight and yoga. And so there's a lot of things you can actually do with it. And the treadmill comes with a video monitor built into it. So I was actually supposed to get that delivery today. Today's Monday. I was supposed to get the delivery. FedEx Freight showed up. Mean as a hornet. He was so rude. He literally came to I was walking outside to put something in my dumpster, and he's like, hello, do you live here? Are you Brandy? And I said, yes. And are you FedEx? Because he wasn't wearing a uniform, which I think is odd. They're 99% of the time wearing a uniform. And he goes, yes, name tag. And like pointed at his name tag. I just sat there staring at him for like, he probably thought I was half crazy because he just sat there staring at him like quizzically, like, really? Like, that's how you're talking to a customer? But okay, fine, whatever. Everybody has bad days. So I was trying to not take it too personal. And then he said, this is not going to work. And I just like looked at him again, quizzical brow, like, what is even happening here? He goes, this is never going to fit up here, but I'll leave it at the end of the driveway for you. And I said, no, sir. I said, I am handicapped. I have a spinal fusion and I have back issues. I cannot lift this thing, much less transport it from the end of my driveway to my house. I said, but furthermore, I said, the company that I purchased it from, I said, I was supposed to have inside delivery. Now, they've changed the website since then, and I'm glad I took a screenshot because I will be appealing what's happened. But on the website when I purchased it, it said you had 2 options for shipping. So one was like basically the Cadillac. They charge you $150. They come in, they set it up, they get everything going, they test it, they make sure everything's the way you want it before they leave. The other one, which is the FedEx Freight, is there. When I purchased in my screenshot says that they would deliver it to, if not in your threshold, like if they couldn't get up your steps or couldn't do whatever, then they would leave it in front of your threshold, so that either front door, back door, garage. But it never once said at the end of the driveway. And I finally looked at him and I said, I really don't know what to tell you. I said, there's no way for me to get this in the house, and this is a $1,400 piece of equipment. I'm not going to leave it in my driveway when it's raining. Like, it's an electronic. Like, bro, what's happening here? So he gets frustrated. He goes, I'm going to go in my truck. You make some calls. If you get it done while I eat my lunch, then I'll be here. And if not, oh well. So again, I just rolled my eyes. I'm like, whatever, bro. So I go in the house. I call an order track. And the first person I get basically tells me, oh, no. The website says we leave it at the end of your driveway. I said, no, ma'am, it does not. So she's the first one to inform me they had changed their website since I put my order in. So I went and checked the website, and it doesn't even mention a driveway. It doesn't even mention anything. It says, of that nature. It says they'll leave it at your door or your back door. It says nothing about threshold now. That's what they did. They removed the threshold. So I told her, I said, never mind. I just want to cancel this order. I am done. I said, this is the worst experience I've ever had of any place I've ever ordered something from. So she says, well, I'm going to have to transfer you to the cancellation department. And I said, okay. So 25 minutes later, I get on the phone with the most helpful CSR I've ever worked with in my life. Now, mind you, she wasn't able to solve everything. She wasn't able to get it even reasonably solved, but she understood my frustration was not with her, which I expressed many times because I wasn't being the sweetest person I could be, but I wasn't trying to be mean to her. I was trying to express my frustration. 2, she was very knowledgeable. She knew what had happened with the website. She knew it had changed recently. So she absolutely was knowledgeable, but she also was very empathetic. And I work in customer service. And when you work in customer service, you can tell someone who's a good customer service agent right off the bat and how they respond to you when you voice your concern. So if you say XYZ is wrong, a good customer service person will say, I hear you. This is what you're upset about. So let me see how I can fix that, or let me see what solutions we have. And that's how she was. So now that all being said, after another 25 minutes of her trying to solve it in an amicable way, now all credit to her for trying to solve it. Just want to say that she tried. So she offered me a credit if I want to try delivery again, but it doesn't make a difference if they're still not going to bring it at my house. If they're still not going to bring it in and put, and I don't expect setup, but if they're not going to bring it in, or at least bring it to my door, the stairs, there's no way I can get it in the house, and I can't leave it out to be stolen or anything else. So I said, nope, I appreciate everything you're trying to do, but I actually am going to just have to cancel this and do it. So she goes through the entire cancellation, and I mean the entire cancellation. She does it. I get the email, and I'm on the phone with her, and this is the only fault I give with her. And she said, okay, so the only thing that left is that you will have a $250 balance. Part of our cancellation fee is if you refuse the delivery and it's not an error on our part, then you actually owe $250. I go, but it is an error on your part. And she's like, wait, what? I go, your website said they would bring it to my door. They refused to bring it to my door. I said, and actually when I ordered it, it said it would cross the threshold, but wouldn't set it up in a room. And if you're in an apartment, it won't go upstairs, basically is how it said it. And she goes, yeah, we did change our site recently. That might be true, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact you owe it. I go, no, it changes it dramatically because in the state of Michigan, we have laws for consumer protections. I said, you held my money for 90 days. Now you allowed a delivery that the person doesn't have to deliver it in the method you promised, but yet you're going to charge me a $250 re-ship back fee? No. I'm going to file an attorney general complaint. And she actually, to her credit, said, I recommend you do that. She goes, because I think you're getting the short end of the stick, and management basically said they're going to research it, but they never do. So long story short on this story time, I will never work with NordicTrack ever again. I will never buy anything from them. When I go to buy a treadmill that we can have brought home, I will buy any brand other than that. I do know they're priced higher, but I know they have a very long life, and I have had friends that had them for like 15, 20 years. So it's kind of one of those, that's why I went there. And they also had really good interest-free deals. So never again. But if you made it this far, again, same thing. Let's do the YouTube-y things, as that YouTuber Martina says. Love her channel. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope your budget is going great, and I hope you guys have a great night. I'll be posting my cash stuffing later this week. Have a good one, guys.